Chapter 1: The Goblin Who Fell from Space. In a subterranean cavern beneath Goblin Mountain, a place where chaos reigned supreme, there lived a goblin with a name that matched his peculiar nature, Zephyrwort. Unlike his mischievous goblin companions, Zephyrwort's pursuits were quite unusual. His underground hideaway was filled not with stolen trinkets or prized loot, but with an odd assortment of contraptions, including an impressive collection of stolen shoelaces. One starry night, as Zephyrwort sat hunched over a peculiar invention he had been working on, his friend Grumbleto, a fellow goblin known for his insatiable appetite for mischief, sauntered over. "Zephyrwort, you're wasting your time with this nonsense again." Grumbleto snorted, eyeing the goblin's creation suspiciously. "What's all this fuss about?" Zephyrwort looked up with an enthusiastic glint in his eye. "Grumbleto, my friend, I'm on the brink of a discovery that will put Goblin Mountain on the map. I'm building a telescope, see? With it, I'll explore the heavens." Grumbleto scratched his pointy head, completely baffled. "Heavens? You mean those shiny dots in the sky at night?" "Exactly," Zephyrwort exclaimed, his voice filled with excitement. "I want to know what's up there, beyond our rocky ceiling. There's a whole universe out there waiting to be discovered." Grumbleto burst into uproarious laughter. "Universe, you say? You've truly gone daft, Zephyrwort. Stick to goblin business like the rest of us. Stealing and causing chaos is what we're good at." But Zephyrwort was undeterred. He continued tinkering with his makeshift telescope, adjusting lenses and stealing shiny trinkets to use as mirrors. As the night grew darker, his determination burned brighter. Hours later, while Grumbleto was busy plotting a particularly mischievous prank involving stolen socks, Zephyrwort noticed something extraordinary through his patched-together telescope, a meteor streaking across the night sky, leaving a trail of shimmering light. "Grumbleto, come quick!" Zephyrwort called, his voice trembling with excitement. Grumbleto rolled his eyes but reluctantly shuffled over to see what had captured Zephyrwort's attention. When he peered through the telescope, his jaw dropped. "By the wrinkled nose of our goblin ancestors, that's amazing!" Grumbleto stammered, astounded by the celestial spectacle. Zephyrwort's heart raced. "I've got an idea, Grumbleto. What if I could ride one of those shooting stars and see the universe up close?" Grumbleto blinked at Zephyrwort, then burst into laughter once more. "You mean like a goblin astronaut, wearing that old, ridiculous sombrero?" Without hesitation, Zephyrwort snatched the shiny sombrero hanging on a hook nearby. "Exactly. And I'll call myself Zephyrwort the Cosmic Goblin." Grumbleto could hardly contain his laughter, but he also saw the spark of determination in his friend's eyes. "Well, Zephyrwort the Cosmic Goblin, if you're truly mad enough to try, then I won't stop you. But you'll need more than that sombrero to survive the heavens." Chapter 2: Zephyrwort's Celestial Leap. In the days that followed his cosmic epiphany, Zephyrwort's underground lair took on an air of organized chaos. He had converted a stolen cauldron into a makeshift cockpit, surrounded by a haphazard collection of spoons, forks, and shiny knickknacks he believed to be essential to his journey. With a mixture of anxiety and excitement, Zephyrwort stood before his goblin friends, who had gathered to witness the spectacle. "Gather round, my fellow goblins," he declared, adjusting the ill-fitting sombrero perched upon his head. "Today, Zephyrwort the Cosmic Goblin embarks on a journey that will boggle your goblin minds." Grumbleto, who had reluctantly become Zephyrwort's de facto engineer, scratched his chin with a rusty wrench. "Are you sure about this, Zephyrwort? Riding a shooting star ain't no goblin pastime." Zephyrwort grinned, his goblinish features twisted into a mix of determination and sheer lunacy. "Oh, I'm sure, Grumbleto. I've calculated the trajectory, accounted for the gravitational pull of Goblin Mountain, and even factored in the probability of encountering cosmic cheese." The other goblins exchanged perplexed glances. Cosmic cheese? They had no idea what Zephyrwort was talking about. Ignoring their puzzled expressions, Zephyrwort climbed into his cauldron cockpit, making himself as comfortable as possible amidst the mishmash of utensils and stolen trinkets. "Goodbye, my fellow goblins," he exclaimed with a theatrical wave. "Wish me luck." With that, Zephyrwort activated the cauldron's propulsion system, which was nothing more than a misfiring firework, causing it to sputter and emit multicolored sparks. "Here goes nothing," he shouted as the cauldron lifted off the ground, propelled by sheer goblin ingenuity. The other goblins watched in astonishment and disbelief as their friend, wearing the glittering sombrero, shot into the night sky. They couldn't decide whether to cheer or weep for him. As Zephyrwort hurtled upwards, he couldn't help but laugh maniacally, his goblin cackles echoing through the caverns. He soared past stalactites, narrowly avoiding collisions, and even bumped into a bat, who squeaked in surprise. "Watch out, Mr. Bat. Zephyrwort the Cosmic Goblin is on a mission," he shouted to the bewildered creature. But as he approached the open night sky, Zephyrwort realized he had made a grave miscalculation. The force of their meteor's entry into the atmosphere sent him spinning wildly out of control, his sombrero spinning like a cosmic propeller. "Whoa! This is not what I had in mind," he exclaimed, struggling to regain control of his cauldron. Down below, Grumbleto and the other goblins watched in both awe and amusement as Zephyrwort's journey turned into a cosmic carnival act. "Never a dull moment with that one," Grumbleto remarked, shaking his head. "I just hope he doesn't end up colliding with one of those heavenly cheese moons he was talking about." As Zephyrwort's cauldron spun through the night sky, his adventure had taken an even more ridiculous turn, leaving the goblins below wondering what other absurdities awaited their intrepid friend among the stars. Chapter 3, Zephyrwort's Cosmic Carnival. Amidst the dazzling cosmic chaos, Zephyrwort's cauldron careened through the night sky, spinning and twirling like a deranged whirligig. The goblins' maniacal laughter echoed among the stars, blending with the celestial melody of a passing comet's jingle bells. "Yippee! I'm a goblin astronaut," Zephyrwort hollered, his sombrero twirling like a propeller on caffeine. But the universe had more ridiculous surprises in store for our fearless adventurer. As Zephyrwort whizzed past a constellation shaped like a grinning cheese wheel, he realized he was not alone. A choir of melodious space frogs, their voices reminiscent of a harmonious rubber band ensemble, greeted him. "Hello there, Zephyrwort," sang the space frogs in unison, their colorful amphibian bodies bouncing among their stars. "Welcome to the Cosmic Carnival." Zephyrwort blinked in amazement. "Cosmic Carnival? Well, this is getting even more fantastical." The space frogs, each sporting a tiny top hat and a monocle, guided him to a floating circus tent made of interstellar cotton candy. Inside, they introduced Zephyrwort to an array of cosmic oddities. A sassy asteroid juggler tossed flaming moons in the air, while a black hole performed stand-up comedy, telling jokes with punchlines that were light years away. Zephyrwort couldn't help but chuckle at the absurdity of it all. "This is the most peculiar carnival I've ever seen." A space otter, zooming by on a comet, chimed in, "We're just getting started, Zephyrwort. Hold on to your sombrero." The carnival took a whimsical turn when Zephyrwort was challenged to a game of intergalactic bingo, where shooting stars acted as bingo balls. He won a jackpot of moon cheese as his prize, which was, naturally, made of the finest cheddar from the lunar dairies. Later, Zephyrwort was swept into a cosmic conga line, grooving alongside dancing asteroids and twirling planets. The music was a symphony of celestial sounds, with meteors playing saxophones and nebulae, providing the light show. As the carnival reached its zenith, Zephyrwort found himself atop a grand Ferris wheel constructed from orbiting satellites. From this vantage point, he could see the entire cosmic carnival stretched out before him, an astonishing spectacle of joyful absurdity. "Thank you, cosmic friends," Zephyrwort shouted from the Ferris wheel's beak. "I never knew the universe could be so wonderfully wacky." The space frogs, asteroids, black holes, And even the moon cheese chimed in unison. The universe is as ridiculous as you dare to dream, Zephyrwort. As the Ferris wheel spun, and the carnival continued its celestial revelry, Zephyrwort realized that he had stumbled upon a cosmic carnival of infinite wonder and absurdity. And in this peculiar corner of the universe, he felt more at home than he ever had beneath Goblin Mountain. With the sombrero still atop his head and a heart full of cosmic cheer, Zephyrwort vowed to explore every nook and cranny of this cosmic carnival. Chapter 4, The Galactic Pie-Eating Contest. As Zephyrwort continued to revel in the absurdity of the cosmic carnival, he found himself in the midst of a spectacle even more preposterous than the dancing asteroids and space frogs with top hats. It was a galactic pie-eating contest, and it was unlike any pie-eating contest the Goblin had ever imagined. The pies, you see, weren't your ordinary fruit or cream pies. They were cosmic confections baked by interstellar pastry chefs from ingredients harvested in the farthest reaches of the universe. There were nebula pies that sparkled with the light of 1,000 stars, comet pies that sizzled and crackled with celestial energy, and even wormhole pies that defied the laws of pastry physics. "Step right up, Zephyrwort," called the jovial ringmaster Nebula, a swirling cloud of cosmic dust with a top hat and a megaphone that projected rainbow-colored words. "Do you dare to enter the galactic pie-eating contest?" Zephyrwort, his sombrero now adorned with a pie-eating bib, couldn't resist the challenge. "I'm up for anything in this cosmic carnival," he declared with a grin. The other contestants were as bizarre as the pies themselves. There was an acrobatic asteroid that somersaulted its way through the contest, a sentient comet that changed flavors with each bite, and a talking wormhole that offered hints on how to navigate the cosmic pie's complexities. The contest began with a flourish, and Zephyrwort dove headfirst into a wormhole pie, its layers swirling with flavors from different dimensions. With each bite, he experienced a sensory explosion of taste, hearing, and even sight as he glimpsed fleeting glimpses of alternate realities. "Wow! This pie is out of this world," and into several others, Zephyrwort exclaimed as he munched on the cosmic confection. The crowd of cosmic carnival goers cheered him on, their voices harmonizing with the swirling melodies of the celestial circus band. The atmosphere was electric with excitement and absurdity. As the contest progressed, Zephyrwort tried pies that defied gravity, pies that told jokes when you bit into them, and even pies that turned him temporarily into a spacefaring squirrel, much to the amusement of the crowd. But it was the final round that truly tested Zephyrwort's pie-eating prowess. The ringmaster Nebula unveiled the piece de resistance, a black hole pie, a dessert so dense that even light couldn't escape it. It sucked everything into its inky depths. Zephyrwort, with a glint of determination in his eyes, took a deep breath and took a massive bite. The pie's gravitational pull threatened to pull him in, but he held on with sheer determination. After an epic struggle and a few rounds of tug-of-war with the pie, Zephyrwort emerged victorious, his bib covered in cosmic crumbs. The crowd erupted in a chorus of applause and cosmic confetti. "You did it, Zephyrwort. You conquered the black hole pie," exclaimed the ringmaster Nebula. Zephyrwort wiped his mouth and adjusted his sombrero with a triumphant grin. "I may be a goblin from beneath the earth, but I can eat pies from across the galaxy." As he stood on the cosmic stage, surrounded by cheering cosmic carnival goers, Zephyrwort realized that in this wonderfully ridiculous corner of the universe, anything was possible, and absurdity was celebrated with joy and laughter. Chapter 5, The Great Intergalactic Bubble Bath Extravaganza. Zephyrwort's triumph in the Galactic Pie-Eating Contest was met with uproarious applause and an encore performance by the Cosmic Circus Band, which now featured a saxophone-playing meteor and a tap-dancing asteroid. But the Cosmic Carnival had more mind-boggling surprises in store for the Goblin adventurer. As Zephyrwort basked in his pie-eating glory, he was approached by none other than the whirling whisk of the Milky Way, a sentient cosmic kitchen utensil with a penchant for melodrama. "Ah, Zephyrwort," You have proven your gastronomic prowess, and now the universe calls upon your culinary skills," declared the whirling whisk in a voice that sounded like a mixture of a grand symphony and a washing machine in a spin cycle. Zephyrwort raised an eyebrow beneath his sombrero. "Culinary skills? What do you mean?" The whirling whisk, which sported a chef's hat that spun in perpetuity, explained in a flourish of words, "It is time for the great intergalactic bubble bath extravaganza, a feast for the senses that will take place in the cosmic soap bubble nebula. And you, Zephyrwort, shall be the chef de cuisine for this cosmic event." Without waiting for a response, the whirling whisk whisked Zephyrwort away in a whirlwind of sparkles, transporting him to a celestial kitchen that stretched across the horizon of a soap bubble. The kitchen itself was a cosmic marvel, with pots and pans made of stardust, spatulas crafted from meteorites, and sinks that flowed with interstellar soap suds. Zephyrwort marveled at the spectacle, his goblin senses tingling with anticipation. The whirling whisk, now spinning with even greater fervor, handed Zephyrwort a recipe scroll that glowed with ethereal light. "Your mission, dear chef, is to prepare the most absurdly delicious soap bubble stew using ingredients gathered from the farthest reaches of their cosmos." With a determined nod, Zephyrwort scanned the recipe, which included moonlight mushrooms, asteroid onions, and comet chilies. But the piece de resistance was a starfish, which was to be captured in a cosmic fishing net. The starfish was rumored to possess flavors that tasted like a supernova seasoned with stardust. "Time to embark on another culinary cosmic caper," Zephyrwort exclaimed, donning an apron made of constellations. He set off with a celestial shopping cart in tow, gathering ingredients from the soap bubble nebula's fantastical market. Moonlight mushrooms giggled as he picked them, asteroid onions cracked jokes, and comet chilies sizzled with excitement. But the starfish proved to be elusive, and Zephyrwort found himself engaged in a game of interstellar hide-and-seek among the bubbles. He chased it through soap rings and leapt from star to star, determined to capture the most coveted ingredient. After a comically dramatic pursuit that involved a cosmic custard pie ambush and a dance-off with a rogue comet, Zephyrwort finally snagged the starfish in his cosmic fishing net. Back in the celestial kitchen, he prepared the soap bubble stew with the skill of a seasoned cosmic chef, blending flavors from across the galaxy. The scent of the dish wafted through the nebula, attracting curious nebula-dwelling beings who swirled round in excitement. As the soap bubble stew bubbled and frothed, Zephyrwort presented it with a flourish to the assembled cosmic audience. The whirling whisk, now positively frenetic in its spinning, declared, "Zephyrwort, you have outdone yourself. Your soap bubble stew is a culinary masterpiece." The cosmic audience erupted in a cacophony of cheers, and Zephyrwort took a bow, his sombrero nearly spinning off his head. The soap bubble nebula was filled with laughter and jubilation as the beings from across the cosmos reveled in the absurdity of the great intergalactic bubble bath extravaganza. As he basked in their celebration, Zephyrwort couldn't help but think that this was the most ridiculously delightful adventure he had ever embarked upon. And in the Cosmic Carnival, where absurdity was not just embraced but celebrated, he felt right at home, ready for the next cosmic escapade that awaited him.